Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony King. I'm a photographer here on YouTube, and welcome back to a new series called Behind the Album. Photo albums are what I post that have my comprehensive body of photography work, and I've done monthly reviews, but now I'm doing some behind the albums where I analyze a few photos from very specific photo albums. So if you ever see one that you want me to talk about, go ahead and leave that in the comments and I will get to it. So today we're going to do photo album 134 on a hike with my wife, which is obviously a wonderful day to do that. So it's taken in Atlanta, Georgia, February 26, 2025. So we're going back a little bit. We got the EPL3 is what I used to take it, and I chose 110 images for this photo album. So definitely on the longer side of albums. And out of that, I chose 16 as keepers or postable photos, which gives this photo album a score of 14.55 because based off my scoring method, and that's actually a pretty solid score compared to, the average score. So slightly above average. So let's see what I got in this photo album. We were walking across a river, and I've talked about some images that I didn't want to repeat myself on. So some better images I left out, and I have talked about on other videos of my channel. But here is a shot of the river, and there's all these rocks, and they cut the water in such fascinating, interesting ways. To me, it reminds me of Blade Runner 2049 for whatever reason. But beyond that, there's such a nice blue color quality that comes off of the water here. I like the branches that are framing it at the bottom, and just the general shape, this backwards L that you get from these waves crashing and the different water levels and how they're moving almost at different speeds, but all moving, I thought was very fascinating and something that I was always working on to get better shots of water in action. Still some water here. Here it's a lot more soft. It's a lot smoother. And that's the contrast that I want to get between these two particular images, how smooth and textured it feels and very calming. There are these old paper mill ruins, and here I'm trying to get some of that architecture shown is hidden within the foliage of the forest because it's these darker gray, greenish, moss covered colors amongst all the trees. So that is definitely a challenge to get a photo where everything looks good. And I think I could have done better in this image, but I do like how I have on the right hand side something layering the image, adding some depth, and then we can sort of see the structure in the background. Back to the water, we're getting a little bit closer to the actual crash of the waves, and I'm really low close to the water, and we can see that water coming up. I think is very neat. It's all about timing, and it's all about taking multiple takes and seeing which one actually looks the best. Again, the color, like the blue color, is really nice as well. So very happy with the motion and action of this image. Lastly, trying to use these organic frames, which something I've talked about a lot on my channel. So if you're more interested in that, check out other videos or ask me in the description and I can talk to you about it. But really framing things with naturally occurring obstacles and looking through all into the brown, the gray, and finding these brightly colored orange leaves, I thought was an interesting nature shot. Some really nice bokeh, some nice swirls at the bottom left-hand side. It was really nice. So overall, the color is really nice, and I think the composition is very interesting for a nature shot. And those are going to be the 5 images that I talk about for this particular photo album. If you want to see the entire photo album, I'll have a link in the description to a playlist to all my photo albums, and you can find it there. This was photo album 134, a pretty solid album. I have good memories from going out there that day with my wife. We had some interesting interactions with somebody else on the path. Maybe I'll talk about that one day, but it was a fun day. And looking back at these photo albums is also about that. It's also about reflecting on the experience and having that nostalgia that you can have looking at your old work. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, took something from it, from my work, and hopefully it inspires your work and to think about your work in different ways, reflect on it. So I hope it's compelled you to subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, I've been Tony King. I'll see you next time.